Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to be having a 1v1 on Kholodny Ferma. Now our heroes today are going to be Stoffa, playing for the Germans. And his opponent today is going to be NorthWestFreshReborn, playing for the Soviets of the Red Army. So, let's talk about a little bit about our players. Both pretty good, rather good in fact. Northwest Fresh, the one that we're looking at, he is currently ranked 81 on his Soviet 1v1, so top 100 right here. German plays also 83, so very even on both his factions there. And Stoffa doesn't fall far behind. He is actually ranked 109th at the time of casting this for his German play, which he's playing right now. But he is actually ranked 32nd in his Soviet, so a very strong Soviet player. This time around, however, he is playing with the Germans, so, well, I guess his off class, but should be an interesting match regardless. Now, you can tell right off the bat that we have Doctrine selected, so let's talk about that. Stoffa went for the Spearhead Doctrine, and Northwest Fresh went for the Soviet Shock Army. So it seems to me that both players have a strategy in mind that they want to employ, so no reactionary doctrines in the situation. Build order wise, we see Stoffa getting himself tier 1 like you would expect most German players to do, and getting 2 MG42s, which you don't expect most, German players to do, but, we'll see how that works out. MG42s recently buffed with a 10% increase on their suppression, so they're quite nice. Players like them a lot more now, and we are seeing them a lot more in play. So 2 MG42s on the field. It looks like Stoffa is focusing on the southern side. Both MG42s are actually going in that direction, although one headed straight into the center and jumped into the church to cover this area. Doesn't actually see anybody to shoot at, so it's just going to stay there for a while. Small engagement down south between combat engineers and the grenadiers. The combat engineers decide to just get the hell out of there and move to the very edge of this victory point to try to capture it while they can, while they still can, is what I'm trying to say. Now for Northwest Fresh, we see that he got tier 2 right off the bat, so, not your usual conscript opening. Maxim machine gun opening up on the grenadiers, but unfortunately the MG42 was set up to capture it, to counter it, and it's already suppressed. Once the pin down effect goes down on the Maxim machine gun, it will actually lose its effect completely, pretty much, and is not going to be effective. So these grenadiers should actually be able to break that pin down and move out of the way. Down south, Pios and combat engineers just engaging point blank. The Pios normally should have the advantage in a close range fight because of their SMGs, while the combat engineers almost went out in the long range. So the MG42 decided to pack up, and the Maxim machine gun is now no longer pinned down, which means this grenadier squad is going to go down unless it retreats. It's down to one man. It doesn't look like Stoffa is even interested in retreating. It needs to hit retreat right now. The Maxim machine gun, however, does get forced off of the field because the MG42 just jumped right on top of it to be able to shoot at it. But that was a very lucky grenadier. Although there is a Maxim machine gun set up in the arc of fire. Can he bring down the grenadier? No, the other grenadier squad was in the way, drew its fire, and that squad barely makes it out alive. That was I gotta say, big mistake there by Stoffa. Almost lost that squad. Held onto it there for just a little bit too long. So anyways, we see conscripts moving in here for the flank to support this Maxim machine gun. The Maxim machine gun is just getting played with by these grenadiers. They're just running back and forth between this arc of fire. But with the conscripts there for support, this grenadier squad should be in a little bit of trouble. The Maxim machine gun, however, is forced off of the field. Down to one man, in fact, on the retreat. Can he make it out alive? There is enough here on the field to keep it in the possession of Northwest Fresh. The grenadiers are pursuing, but they will not be able to pick up that kill. And the MG42 in the church jumps out and engages the conscripts that are trying to push off those grenadiers. Conscripts are now suppressed, forced to retreat, and the grenadiers are going to recapture this point and connect the southern side of the map for Stoffa. So I never said it because too much action going on, but Northwest Fresh, as you can obviously tell, went tier 2, got himself 2 Maxim machine guns and a mortar with only 1 conscript squad on the field. A very unusual build, but, well, I mean, let's see how it worked out. So mortar on the field for the Soviet player, but that is not a tier 2 mortar. That is the 120mm mortar from the Soviet shock armies. It does have incredible range and will help very well against those 2 MG42s. So a very good choice there by Northwest Fresh. We see Stoffa producing another MG42, so he lost one at some point. I never actually saw that. What happened? Where did the guys in the building collapse with the MG42 inside? I think they might have. See corpses all over the place. And well, I don't see it, but I think that might have been the case. Maxim machine gun and MG42 duking it out down south. The Maxim actually loses that engagement and ends up having to retreat. Conscripts with PPSA just pushing forward. And yeah, I mean, this is a very unusual game. It's not usually what you see as far as unit compositions, but very interesting. Grenadiers hit here with LMG. What was that? Oh, mortar half-track. Okay, wow. Well, I'm just oblivious right now to what the hell's going on. So, mortar half-track called into the field by Stoffa. It's retaliate. Oh, nice incendiary shot right on top of the 120mm. Makes it retreat, and off it goes. Not going to clear it out, but forces it off the field for a little while. Combat engineers pushing into the center, going to start laying down a mine in fire. However, there is an MG42 and a mortar half-track right in front of it. Those combat engineers are getting suppressed. A nice shot lands right there, actually destroys the mine as it gets laid down and forces the combat engineers to retreat. Maxim machine gun up in the north, just moving around. We have a grenadier squad forced to retreat. And tier 2 already down for Stoffa. He was actually going for a bunker, it looks like, but he decided to cancel that instead. So he is instead choosing to go for a Panzer Grenadier squad to bolster his anti-infantry, so very nice. Shock troops now in the field for Northwest Fresh, and he is going to send them down south. There's also a conscript squad with only 4 men and very low health down south. Do we have medics back at base for Northwest Fresh? We do not just yet, so those units will not be very combat effective, but you know, they can still survive and get reinforced. So the Soviet mortar coming back onto the field. The German mortar half-track is also as well, just moving around. Shock troops going straight for the fuel point. We see the half-track moving down south to start shooting at these shock troops. MG42 moving down south to set up, and it sets up on the entire approach. The shock troops decide to just try to dodge the shots, manage to dodge one right very nicely. Was right on top of where they were, in fact. And they do manage to decap that point. We see Grenadiers moving down south. We have Panzer Grenadiers now coming into the field to help against these shock troops. The shock troops were trying to run into the house, but the Grenadier squad actually denies them that position. And a nade goes in by the shock troops. Very nice reactionary nade there by Northwest Fresh. Nails the Grenadiers, killing 2 of them instantly. But the Panzer Grenadiers are now right on top of that shock troop squad. The shock troop squad is taking quite a bit of damage, down to 5 men. Forced to retreat, and the mortar ends up clearing out of the MG42 with the conscripts right on top of it helping out. They capture the MG42 and are going to try to retreat, but they get annihilated by the Panzer Grenadiers before they manage to get off the field. So that MG42 is still going to be in possession for Stoffa. Risky maneuver there by Northwest Fresh, but he did manage to keep his conscript alive with 1 man and retreated, so only a little bit of man loss, essentially just getting 3 men killed there. MG42 setting up in the center, covering its cutoff point and trying to fight against that Maxim machine gun. Both Maxim machine guns pushing forward onto the MG42. The MG42 opening up on the Maxim machine gun on the right-hand side. A nasty shot there by the 120mm mortar nails the MG42. The MG42 now getting suppressed. Maxim machine gun in the center, forced to retreat, and the MG42 is going to go down. Yeah, there it goes. Gets cleared out right in the center of the map. We have the other one down here, got picked up and already reinforced. Well, not reinforced, but already picked up. That's what I'm trying to say. Grenadiers back at base, just being used to capture. Panzer Grenadiers down south. And yeah, all those Grenadiers are just being used as crew replacement. Maxim machine gun moving up south. Yeah, up south, that's right. Up north for Northwest Fresh. Forces away that Pio squad. So right now, Stoffa is getting, well, not pinned precisely, but he is getting, I don't even know what word to say, but basically he's being restricted or clamped in or, you know, pushed into a very small sector of the map. The 120mm mortar for the Soviets already has 8 kills. The mortar half-track has 4 kills only to its name. Combat engineers pushing forward, trying to go for the cutoff point. Grenadiers forcing it away with their LMGs. Taking a little bit of damage on the retreat, but they're fine. MG42 getting picked up again by that Grenadier squad. Grenadier one-man squad needs to retreat. It's a little bit too risky to keep it on the field. And it does stay there. Going to open up with this LMG. The shock troops are nearby helping out. I mean, making a threat. But there is a half-track now on the field for Stoffa, so he's going to reinforce on the fly. Both squads actually reinforcing, keeping their numbers, and the shock troop is forced to retreat. MG42 as well should be able to get reinforced. Down south, we see a T-34 on the field now for Northwest Fresh. The MG42 forced to pack up and retreat down to one man. Can he make it out alive in the face of that T-34? T-34 shoots and actually nails the carcass of a long-forgotten Panzer IV in this battlefield, and the MG42 makes it out. Maxim machine guns, mortars, conscripts, all pushing down south. So Tier 2, Tier 3 up for Northwest Fresh we saw. And there is nothing on the field right now for Stoffa that he can combat that T-34 with. Obviously he can Faust, but that's about it. Maxim machine gun forcing away those Grenadier squads, both of them at the same time. In fact, the mortar half-track pushing forward, going to try to incendiary barrage right on top of everything. Is it? No, it's actually just a barrage. Okay, well. Half-track pushes a little bit to the center, pushes back with the Maxim machine gun next to it, and we see a pack gun getting produced for Stoffa. He needs that to be able to combat this T-34. Panzer Grenadier Squad also gets Trex just to add that anti-tank capability, and the half-track gets caught by the T-34, takes a nasty shot on the side armor, down to half health. One more shot will take it down, and I don't think this half-track is going to make it out. Ooh, nice shot, I mean bad shot there by the T-34, ends up missing the mortar half-track. The third shot goes down and finally annihilates that half-track. The reinforcement half-track a little bit to the north, moves out of the way and makes it out. Always remember you can use your reverse ability just to keep your vehicle moving rather than have the AI turn itself around, you know, keeping it around a little bit too long there. But yeah, probably unavoidable there. Pack on now in the field, so Stoffa will be able to push back this T-34. MG42 sets up in the house to be able to, well, have a defensible position. It's not going to get suppressed by the Maxim machine gun, and we'll be able to shoot back. We have Maxim machine gun up north, so a crossfire here, very deadly for these German infantry by both Maxim machine guns. Look at that crossfire right there. They're caught in between both, getting annihilated by that. Panzer Grenadiers push up with their Shreks. A Faust does finally go off from those Grenadiers, nailing the T-34. Shrek goes off from Panzer Grenadier Squad before they get pinned down and nails the T-34. The T-34 still on the field. The pack gun is moving up, trying to get in range to shoot that T-34. Maxim machine gun down south. Looks like it's going to get cleared out by that Grenadier Squad. The Grenadier Squad right on top of it. Opens up with its LMG. The Maxim machine gun turns around, manages to get a suppression. And the pin down goes down on that Grenadier Squad, keeping that Maxim machine gun alive with one man in very low health. Nade going down on top of those Panzer Grenadiers, nails them, but they do retreat, and the Grenadier Squad is going to get cleared out by the shock troops. The shock troops are pursuing it. PPSH is going off, and no, yeah, okay. Maxim machine gun actually ends up getting that kill at the end, but unfortunate loss there for Stoffa. Stoffa getting pushed back all the way back to his base now. He only has the base, the sector in front of his base in his possession to provide resources. The southern sides are getting decapped and are already cut off. Another mortar half-track on the field for Stoffa. He needs that indirect fire to be able to combat those Maxim machine guns and such. The mortar half-track sets up, gonna start opening up, but Stoffa in a very, very tough situation. No Tier 3, no fuel to speak of, and very far away from being able to get a Tiger to throw the, yeah. So, another shock group squad getting called in. Wait, was that? Yeah, that is a shock group squad. Did he lose his shock group squad in front here? Oh my god, that shock group squad went down. Wow, I did not see that. I was a little bit too distracted. I didn't think they were going to die. So the shock group squad dies right in the front of Stoffa's base. So nice pickup for him right there. Making a little bit of a easier fight. So Northwest Fresh ends up having to call back another shock group squad to have that capability there. But he does lose, obviously, the veteran speed, and I think got more experience at the very least from the squad. Wait, oh, okay. I thought the conscripts had a flamethrower. Well, never mind. The combat engineers lose their flamethrower. So the flamethrower and conscripts move down to the south for a flank, but they end up losing the flank, and the flamethrower ignites, and they barely make it out alive, but it works. Shock troops pushing forward on the field now, and we have a Maxim machine gun decrewed. Nice nade landing on top of those Grenadiers. The Grenadiers are going to reinforce on the fly. T-34 moves forward, takes a shot at that half-track, but there is Shreks on the field, opening up a barrage, bringing it down to about half health. The pack-on has been decrewed, and is nowhere to be seen. Oh, there he is back there. Needs to get recruited by these grenadiers at least, so that that T-34 has to back off. The MG-42 set up down south. The fuel is not captured right now by Stoffa, so he's not able to get any resources there. And interestingly enough, this northern point is just abandoned by anybody. Nobody wants it. The mortar, Soviet mortar, still has 8 kills to his name. Hasn't actually managed to nail anything again. So we have a... what is this? So MG-42, Maxim machine gun. So all the heavy weapons are getting recruited right now by Stoffa. He needs to push back and start reinforcing. Getting his pack gun. Pack gun's back on the field. The pilots are going to reinforce. The MG-42 needs to get picked up again. The Maxim machine gun can also be getting reinforced and pushed back a little bit. T-34 pushing forward to get on top of that Maxim machine gun. We see a mine getting laid down here by Northwest Fresh, but it hasn't been completed, so a sneaky mine there that might come into play later on. Maxim machine gun getting shot at by the T-34. Conscript right on top of it. Hits retreat. Can he actually make it out alive with it? It's running along with its shopping cart, trying to stay alive. Down to 1 man, but MG-42 stops those conscripts as they run. And volley from the Panzer Grenadiers actually, I believe, nailed him. So very nice there by Stoffa. Still in a very dire situation. He is confined to his small sector of the map. Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers pushing down south, trying to start to regain territory. Grenadiers squad getting caught by that Maxim machine gun a little bit on the tail end there, but managed to crawl out of its way. And the Maxim machine gun is forced to back up and move out of the way. So Northwest Fresh has not replaced his Maxim machine gun, so right now we see Stoffa having 3 machine guns to his name. The MG-42 over here getting reinforced. Pack gun now fully reinforced and on the field. The mortar half-track just opening up as much as it can on anything, but only having 2 kills so far. The Maxim machine gun back at base not getting reinforced. We have the MG-42 down south capturing the munitions. Grenadier squad capturing down south on the point, and we have a Panzer Grenadier squad going for a sneaky flank on that T-34, trying to nail it. A nice bundle nade on top of that. Oh wow, what happened there? Well, the bundle nade was very nice on top of that combat engineer squad, but it looked like it actually didn't do anything, and the combat engineers were unfazed by the grenade. Panzer Grenadiers forced to retreat. The T-34 did take a little bit of damage, down to about half health, now forced to move up to the north, where the Soviet army is in full control. Half-track and MG-42 opening up on the advancing infantry, forcing them to stop in their tracks and back off. Down south, Grenadiers capturing the victory point now. The MG-42 actually set up to cover the entire approach. Conscripts getting shot at as they move, gonna get suppressed and caught out in the open and potentially pinned down. The Grenadiers with that LMG also opening up, getting additional fire down on it, and they're crawling into range, probably trying to get in range for a Molotov, but they do end up getting pinned down. The shock troops move forward, gonna get in range of that MG-42, probably gonna throw a nade on top of it. We see one guy picking up, no, yeah, there it goes, picks up the nade, throws it on top of it. A lot of damage, down to 3 men, very low health, and forces the retreat of that MG-42. Conscript squad down south, however, is still getting mauled by that Grenadier squad, forced to retreat. And center of the map, we see an engagement. Conscripts penetrating the lines, Panzer Grenadiers, machine guns, and everything trying to push them off. The MG-42 is going to get cleared out. The Maxim machine gun moves in to support, and the Conscripts are forced off of the field. A nice shot there by something. What was that? Was that a German mortar or was that a 120mm mortar? It looks like it might have been a German mortar. So nice shot there. Nails the conscripts. No, was that conscripts actually? Yeah, nails the conscripts and forces them off. I was a little bit confused about the conscripts because I last saw that there was only 1 conscript squad for Northwest Fresh, but in fact he has 2 now. Another Panzer Grenadier squad getting produced for Stoffa, so he is not opting to get any amount of tanks right now, so he's probably just holding off the fuel to be able to get a Tiger at this point instead of taking up. Risky maneuver, but I suppose he is stabilizing enough the situation to be able to afford to do that. T-34 forced to back off. We also see that Northwest Fresh is probably himself waiting to be able to do something big. He has already 300 fuel, so that means he's getting himself artillery. I mean, you don't actually need, as far as I recall, you don't need fuel for that, but it's a lot of manpower. But that's actually going to be quite interesting to see. We haven't seen that artillery gun being used quite often enough. So down south, the Maxim machine gun moves down, and by that I mean the stolen Maxim machine gun. Moves down south. Oh, a nasty shot there by the mortar. Nails the shock troops and forces them to retreat. The Maxim machine gun moves into position and is going to recapture that victory point. Point-wise, we now see that Stoffa got brought down all the way down to 50. Very low in points, but NorthWestFreshReborn is sitting comfortably at 433. Now, the mortar half-track continues to annihilate troops regardless of whether they're friendly or not. We see 2 friendly kills down south on that Maxim machine gun. They took quite a beating there from one stray mortar, but unfortunately that is the situation with war. Panzer Grenadiers getting reinforced on the field, holding the center with the half-track right next to them. Up north, we see finally some movement for Stoffa. He's going to go try to recapture points. MG42 and an LNG Gren moving in that direction. We see conscripts pushing into the center, getting forced away. Paragon takes a nasty shot into that tank and destroys it, so no more cover for those Panzer Grenadiers. And everything is currently back at base for Northwest Fresh. He does have his artillery gun on the field, and it opens up. Where's it going to land? Probably in the center. No, it's actually pushing back a little bit further down south. Where's it going? Okay, well, not entirely sure where that artillery gun is trying to shoot. It's trying to shoot that MG42. Well, accidentally almost nails that half-track. The half-track is moving in a very bad area right now. But, well, the first barrage here for Northwest Fresh aimed into an area where there's nothing right now, so a little bit of a blind fire there. T-34 goes in for a drive-by shooting, manages to nail the half-track and bring it down to about half health, but it also gets shot back in return by both Shregs and the pack gun, getting itself down to about 30% health, so it forces itself off of the field for a little while. Shock troops up north to defend it. We have some Grenadiers over here, and the MG42 is actually nowhere to be seen. Where did it go? Did it go into the center? Yeah, it looks like they all went into the center. So Maxim machine gun down south and 2 MG42s here in the center. So Grenadiers up north are a little bit on their own. They do have veteran T2 giving them accuracy and an LMG, which means they can do a lot of damage to this Grenadiers. I mean, shock troop squad, but the shock troops do close the distance very quickly and get right on top of the Grenadiers. They are, however, moving in the wrong direction. They end up not shooting for a while. Grenade goes down on the Grenadiers, and they are forced to retreat. So victory there for the shock troops. Bit down south, Panzer Grenadiers just capturing that munitions point. And we see on the south, movement by the conscripts just hanging around. This Maxim machine gun is set up to defend this victory point. And that's about it. Could have been set up, I mean, not that that's a bad situation, but could have been set up right here to cover this entire approach. So these conscripts wouldn't have been able to penetrate even further than that without going through the center. But, again, I mean, to each his own. So, the center is, well, currently inhabited by pretty much everything Stoffa has. He is splitting off a couple things here and there. MG42 set up over here in the north to cover the Panzer Grenadiers as they capture. The mortar opening up on them to try to take them down. Maxim machine gun opens up on the conscripts as they approach the victory point. The victory point gets decapped a little bit. The conscripts are getting suppressed. Can they actually get pinned down before they get the cutoff? And no. So the conscript squad manages to decap that victory point down south, and the Maxim machine gun ends up not getting that pin down effect, unfortunately. Conscript squad moving down through the center, going to go for the flank on that Maxim machine gun, and the Maxim machine gun is probably going to go down. We see a strafing run getting called into the center for Northwest Fresh. This is the Thermovic. Where is it going to shoot? Oh, takes out the half-track. So both vehicles now down for Northwest Fresh. I'm pretty sure the mortar half-track went down to the strafing run to start off with. That Thermovic is quite deadly. Oh, there it is. There's the half-track and there's the other half-track. So no vehicles on the field now right now for Northwest Fresh. We see the Thermovic flying off the map, coming in for another pass. And what is it shooting at this time? Annihilates that MG42, and that's going to be it for that Thermovic. So, a very brutal ability, which I'm assuming we're probably going to see it toned down by the next patch, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a prime, what do you want to say? What do I want to say? Priority. Yeah, that's the word I wanted to use. Priority situation there. So we see that the conscripts did manage to start capping down south. What happened with the Maxi Machine Gun? The Maxi Machine Gun got cleared out, and did it get picked up? No, didn't get picked up by anybody. Did they get killed on the retreat, and they're just flying around there somewhere? Or did the weapon blow up? Well, they were there, and they're not there anymore. We don't have a Maxi Machine Gun anymore. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm looking at the Maxi Machine Gun. What's wrong with me? Okay. So, yeah, the MG42 is the one that got cleared out and is up north here, so Northwest Fresh could recapture that. Still has that one T-34. We finally see the Tiger on the field for Northwest Fresh. 430 fuel right now for Northwest Fresh, and I mean the Tiger for Stoffa. Tiger pushes into the center, forces a retreat by everything. That 170mm mortar is better into 3 now. It's so far. Panzer Grenadiers on the field, just moving around for anti-infantry. And we see the mortar, I mean not the mortar, the artillery gun being utilized, but where's it shooting? Shooting back at base. Let's see what's happening back at base. Oh, nasty shot there, actually nails Panzer Grenadiers down to 1 man. This Panzer Grenadier squad needs reinforcing, and the artillery shots are just being used in a cheeky way. So, that went down right there. But that was a carcass, so that's fine. Okay, so not much else happening, so targets of opportunity there, but nothing going down. Another Stormbrick attack right into the center, goes straight for the MG42. The MG42, however, didn't pack up and leave out of the zone. This Panzer Grenadier squad needs to get the hell out of there as well, otherwise it's going to get annihilated. The Tiger can stay around, that's fine. He's going to take some damage, but he's going to be fine. So that Sturmovik is going to come straight at that Panzer Grenadier squad, needs to be careful with it. And there we go, the Sturmovik is going to fly off of the map. There it goes, coming in for another pass. And no, there's nothing in the center that they're going to shoot at. So Panzer Grenadiers did manage to get out of range, so it's fine. Sturmovik will only cover the center for now, and it's going to be fine. So the Tiger is actually going to take the brunt of the next barrage, and it's going to be fine for the Tiger. Like I said, it will take a little bit of damage. So that's about it. A nice shot there by the Tiger actually annihilates that combat engineer squad, igniting that flamethrower, and it goes completely down. So the Sturmovik is moving off map, coming around for another pass, and the Tiger's going to take the entire barrage. There it goes. But look at the amount of measly damage that it does to the Tiger. So like I said, the Tiger doesn't really have to fear much about a Sturmovik, but yeah, those Panzer Grenadiers would have gotten annihilated. So center map in control for Stoffa. He doesn't have the point. Down south, the point is also in nobody's possession. Stoffa now down to 39 points, so he's actually getting a little bit desperate there. 274 points left for Northwest Fresh. He is still in an okay position. He has a lot of time in his hands, and he has a lot of fuel. Doesn't have manpower, but he has a lot of fuel, so what he could do right now is just build himself tier 4 and get Su-85s if he wants to start fighting that Tiger. He doesn't have any call-ins for fuel, so yeah, I mean, obviously manpower is a restriction as well. Tiger moves up to the north, trying to push away those shock troops. Shock troops trying to go for the decap. They will go for the decap, which means Stoffa is once again going to start bleeding points. Down south, we see this point getting captured, center point getting captured by the MG42. So he will be able to stop the bleed for a little while, but he is going to bleed now a little bit right now. So down to 36, probably down to 35 before he ends up capturing the point. 34 in fact. Yeah, there it goes. Actually gets double capture the situation, so he's going to tick twice. No, only once. Manages to capture the point right before that tick goes off and only brings it down to 33. 32, however, he still needs to recapture the point. Manages to decap that southern point, so stop the bleed at 32. Stoffa needs to get a handle on those victory points, otherwise he's going to lose the game simply by points. So down south, the T-34 moves in for a harassing shot. Artillery being used down south on those Panzer Grenadiers, but the Panzer Grenadiers managed to capture the point and dodge all the artillery shots. And they are now right on top of that T-34. The T-34 takes a nasty barrage there by those Treks and is forced to retreat. Does have better in C2, however, at which it gets better control over the main gun and improves the rate of fire. So I believe the turret itself spins faster. Tiger pushing forward straight onto the enemy base is going for the artillery gun. 18-8 going off on that Tiger. Managed to not get the crit, only explodes on the surface, so the engine is fine. The T-34 is nearby, can go for the ram on the Tiger. It does go for the ram, the Tiger backs off, and it does manage to get the crit and immobilizes the Tiger. Wow, a very fortunate crit right there for Northwest Fresh. Unfortunate for Stoffa. He is going to have to lose that Tiger. There's no way he can save it in this situation. Conscript right on top of it. AT gun being moved forward to get right to the side armor. But we now see a fragmentation bomb right on top of everything, trying to nail the conscript, but it would only destroy that T-34. Actually, it doesn't even destroy it, only does some crew shocking damage. T-34 using its repair ability? No, looks like it takes a Faust to the rear armor. AT gun does get decrewed, so that Tiger is still on the field. We see that Stoffa is bringing everything he has into this sector to try to clear it off. That T-34 still alive, might be able to get recruited. We have Maxim machine gun on the field. We really don't have much. We have enough fuel and manpower to get another Tiger. A second Tiger would not go amiss right now. Getting another Tiger, there it goes, could roll in to try to defend the other Tiger, although the AT gun did get recruited, which means that that Tiger will probably go down. AT gun moves up, it's going to try to get itself on the rear armor of the Tiger to take it down even faster. The MG42 is set up there to defend the Tiger. The Tiger is getting shot almost point blank range. The second Tiger moving down the field as fast as it can, trying to get in range to defend or help out its Tiger ally, but it doesn't look like it's going to be able to save it. Down to about 30% health now. More shots going off, but bouncing off of that armor, that is heavy armor. The shock troops is just getting annihilated by the top gunner. Not sure why they're standing there. They finally noticed that and decide to move themselves around. However, they were providing support to the AT gun so that it wouldn't get decrewed. A nasty shot there by the Tiger goes off, but doesn't manage to save it. Down it goes. AT gun, however, is down to 2 men and gets decrewed by the coaxial gun. T-34 moves forward, gonna go for another ram on the Tiger and gets only a crew shock, so that T-34 is done for. So unfortunately, lightning did not strike twice, even though you see a little lightning effect there. That's only a crew shock. The conscripts are forced to retreat. This T-34 is going to go down. The other T-34 will probably also get targeted down and destroyed by Stoffa. And the AT gun is also a potential casualty. No, it's already a casualty. It has been eliminated. So Stoffa is in okay shape. It was a very difficult situation there, but he managed to stabilize it. He needs to push a little bit forward with that Tiger and annihilate that T-34. You don't want to let your enemy get a free tank. Obviously, he would need to repair it, but yeah, there you go. He pushes forward, and he's going to take a shot at the mortar for now, it looks like. Only ends up hitting the carcass of his fallen comrade. Focuses down the T-34. There it goes, and now the mortar is forced to retreat as well. Over here on the southern side, we see some conscripts going for penetration, trying to cut off the southern side. However, they don't actually manage to do so. Grenadiers and MG42 just sitting at the edge of this point, not actually managing to capture it, while shock troops managed to capture the southern point, putting the points at 32 for Stoffa and 156 for Northwest Fresh. Northwest Fresh still has time, but he's running out of time. Another ram from another T-34 goes down and manages to get a crit on the Tiger. However, the Tiger this time does not get immobilized, so he's just simply going to crawl very slowly out of range while that T-34 just shoots at it. And the gunner shoots back at the T-34. Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward, gonna try to annihilate that T-34 before it gets repaired. Panzer Grenadiers trying to intercept these shock troops. The shock troops are down to 5 men and very low in health, so these Panzer Grenadiers actually have a chance, and they will actually be able to finish off this shock troop squad down to 3 men. They are on the chase, and the Panzer Grenadiers are gonna be able to win that fight. The shock troops started running for some reason, and there they go. Retreat, full retreat, and a squad gets annihilated in the center. I think that was an MG42. Yeah, you can see the gun there destroyed, and that's the reason they got killed, even though the shot was pretty dead on. The weapon got destroyed, so the squad itself dies. Panzer Grenadiers push all the way into the forward base and get themselves on top of that T-34, annihilating it. Second T-34, or well, whoever knows how many at this point, but another T-34 gets into the field and is taking some shots at the Panzer Grenadiers. Nails one of them, but it's getting shot in return by those Shreks. The Tiger slowly crawling out of the base, all making its way back. It's a heavy engine damage, and conscripts in the center trying to go for the cap on the victory point. We have 2 points currently captured for Northwest Fresh, down to 22 points for Stoffa. He is currently getting double capped, and well, he manages to decap it down south with the Panzer Grenadiers and stabilize the situation in the middle, annihilating that conscript squad. So barely holding on there with 20 points, 19 points at this stage. The Panzer Grenadiers need to capture this a little bit faster, down to 18, and manages to stop it before another tick. and the center point is in no man's land hands. The Pyos are currently heading out of the base, taking their sweet time to get repairs off on this Tiger. This Tiger needs repairs 2 years ago. T-34 moves its way back to base. There is no repair ability back at Northwest Fresh's base. He needs to get himself a combat engineer squad, but he is running out of time. He is down to 150 points, and he's going to be double capped in a second, so he's going to start bleeding in his direction. The T-34 pushes forward. The Tiger still on the field, still disabled. The MG-42 unable to do much. The Pyos running to the aid of the Tigers. They're going to get intercepted by that T-34. T-34 shoots at the Tiger. There is nothing on the field to defend them. There is a Panzer Grenadier squad moving down south to push against that T-34. Can they actually manage to get the shots off? The Tiger takes additional damage. The Pioneers retreat. Nade going down on the MG-42. The MG-42 only takes superficial damage and is getting the suppression off on that shock troop squad. A smoke grenade goes off on the MG-42, breaking its line of sight on that shock troop squad. The gunner on top of the Tiger opening up on the shock troops, trying to do as much as he can. The MG-42 will go down to the shock troops. Pyos nearby also will go down. A nasty mortar shot there nails the last man on that MG-42, and the shock troops are still on the field. Shock troops, however, no threat to the Tiger. The Tiger will continue to back off. Up north, we see a T-34, well, the T-34 going up against the Grenadiers. The Grenadiers can throw a Faust. We have a second T-34 on the field for Northwest Fresh. With all that fuel that he has been utilizing, or not utilizing, he's able to produce them pretty much instantly. Panzer Grenadiers getting annihilated by the shock troops, down to 2 men on the retreat, but more shock troops on the way. More Panzer Grenadiers on the way. However, the shock troops are quite intimidating and they are forced to retreat. The heavy gunner on top of that Tiger is able to provide some support. And we have another Tiger on the field now for Stoffa, so this should seal the deal and give him the edge. However, victory points are still a difficult situation. We see the T-34 up north actually going for the cap. We saw the Grenadiers retreating from the north, and he's going to use the ability into the cap and the center cap as well to be able to get the victory points back in his possession. Another ramp goes off on this Tiger, destroys the engine. That's heavy engine damage and gets the weapon. So again, these two Tigers are unusable by anybody right now. Those Pyos need to get their asses back into gear and repair this Tiger ASAP. Get it into possession. A cluster bomb falls right on top of a shock troop squad. Fragmentation bomb, I think. But the T-34 does get annihilated. The Panzer Grenadier squad, however, will go down, even the 2 shock troops. But he manages to decap the point, still at 18 points himself, so manages to break that. The Panzer Grenadier is retreating. Can the 2 shock troops actually kill it? No, he looks like he will be able to make it out alive. But the Panzer Grenadiers, but the shock troops will be able to capture that point. T-34 still in the center. Another T-34 on the field going for the disabled Tiger. Another T-34 getting produced. So relentless T-34 usage here by Stoffa, not allowing Northwest Fresh not allowing Stoffa to get any break. He needs to produce himself a PAC gun to be able to defend these guys from the tanks at least and get them off the field. The Tiger's just slowly crawling out of the field. We now have a double cap going off against Stoffa, down to 16 points, down to 15. He is bleeding the points. He needs to get a grip on that. Grenadiers up north managed to annihilate the shock troop squad, and that means that the Grenadiers will be able to get up north and capture. We have another conscript squad up in the northern fuel point going for the cap. We see the Panzer Grenadiers with their Shreks finally annihilating the T-34s that were right in front of these Tigers. And this third T-34 just backs off out of the way.
With 10 points remaining.
So the Tiger's now finally being able to get some repairs off. He notices the less damaged Tiger is the priority because that one can get back into the field a little bit quicker. He goes with the Panzer Grenadiers into the center, down to 7 points for Stoffa. Very, very critical situation here. He manages to stabilize once again. He's going to capture the north and the center. Start to bleed off against Northwest Fresh. Can't he hold on, or is Northwest Fresh going to just get a ninja cap? He does only have 1 conscript squad on the field to be able to cap. His T-34s no longer has veterancy, so they cannot cap. And the mortar squad is just back at base, artillerying what it can and not be used to capture points. Up north, the Grens are getting assaulted by the T-34s and the conscripts. That Gren squad doing quite a bit of damage to those conscripts, but forced off the field, so the conscripts will be able to capture the north. We do see, however, Panzer Grenadiers pushing up to the north, just trying to go engage those T-34s. And the Tiger is about to get fully repaired. It's now at about 95% health. Pyos repairing as fast as it can. Up north, the Shreks go off, and the T-34 gets abandoned. The T-34 going for the crush, manages to crush one of them. Can he finish off the squad? They are playing ring around the dead T-34, and it manages to get the retreat on one of them. T-34 taking quite a bit of damage, down to less than half health. Another T-34, no, that's a T-70 on the field, going for the harass, trying to go the capping route. The Tiger, however, now fully effective, will be able to roll forward and finish off that T-34. That T-70. T-70 notices, oh, I made a big mistake. Takes a nasty shot there. The mortar also landing on top of the Tigers, but the Tiger is now going to focus on the mortar itself and going to roll forward, clear off the infantry. Northern point getting captured by NorthWestFresh, and the center point getting decapped. Still holding at 7 points for Stoffa. He goes for the shot at that mortar, and boom, shoot, come on, boom. But that didn't actually nail anything. Two pile squads moving right on top of that mortar. Ram goes off, but does not manage to get the hit off on that Tiger. Only gets a little bit of a crew shock, and they will recover and execute that T-34. So unfortunately, the RNG gods did not smile upon NorthWestFresh. In the end, he did get a very good set of lucky crits there on this Tiger. On these Tigers, I mean. In fact, even a very nice crit on the front, the one over here. But yeah, right now he is losing steam. This T-70 now with a damaged engine, getting focused down by the other Tiger. Gonna take a shot, down it goes. Another T-34 getting produced, constant squad getting produced as well to replace. Another constant squad getting eliminated. It looked like it got eliminated up north. And there is nothing on the field for NorthWestFresh. So for a couple seconds there, he didn't have any units. Now he produces himself a conscript squad, and the T-34 hits the field as well. So not that big of a downtime without any units, but this allows Stoffa to just simply retake control of the map. Holding on at 7 points, down to 74, 73 now for NorthWestFresh. He's going to start recapturing everything. T-34 going down south. The Tiger heading straight onto the base. Going to go see what it can spot. He's going straight for Tier 3. If he annihilates Tier 3, that will stop the flow of T-34s onto the field. Conscript using Ura as they hit the field just to get out there as quickly as they can. They, however, have no veterancy and will have to go up against a veteran T3 Grenadier squad, so that means they will not win. Conscripts down south, however, will be able to capture this point and slow the bleeding from 3 points down to, well, yeah, 3 to 1. T-34 going for the flank down south, but it is only getting annihilated by Shreks. Those are 4 Shreks going off on it, and it goes out of control and actually crashes onto the T-34. However, that was not a ram ability, so the Tiger is fine. Tiger in the center, getting repaired, finally back to full strength. Gonna go help out his other friend in the center. However, he does notice there is a constant squad down south, so he's gonna go harass that. And yeah, I think Stoffa did it. I think Stoffa stabilized at 7 points. I don't see how NorthWestFresh can come back from this. He is gonna lose his Tier 3 in a little bit, so no more T-34s. He is producing conscripts in mass to be able to try to get some caps going off up north. However, the conscripts are getting annihilated by those LMG Grents. They do manage to get a decap on the northern point, and the victory point down south did get captured, which means that the bleed has stopped for both players, in fact, so it's 7 to 34. However, composition, 2 Tigers against nothing is just very hard to deal with. Grenadiers managed to annihilate the squad up north and hold their ground at 1 man. They will recapture the point to put the bleed back on NorthWestFresh. We have conscripts going into the center, and another conscript squad getting produced, so the conscripts down south did get annihilated as well. Here they are, dead in the center. And there's nothing in the center right now for anybody. There is a MG bunker, however, for Stoffa, so those conscripts will not be able to cap. They actually can't. I was saying they could maybe get cover in these carcasses, but these carcasses do not look like they're able to provide any defense right there. So with the Tiger and the MG bunker, they do manage to get the decap, and that's about it. Still bleeding, down to 28 points. The Tiger annihilating the conscript, forcing them on the retreat, and that is all she wrote. So he's not going to wait it out, and NorthWestFresh throws in the towel. So amazing game here, barely holding on by Stoffa. He was in a lot of trouble in the mid-game, got brought down to about 50 points very quickly, but managed to stabilize, even with the lucky crits there by those T-34s and unseasoned usage of T-34s and critting his Tigers. Unfortunately for NorthWestFresh, he ran out of luck in the end, and well, the Rams did not work all the time. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.